I want to explain to you my story of how I came to cannabis because that's everyone's story, right? Everyone wants to know how did you come to cannabis? So my story actually starts all the way whenever I was 17 years old. So when I was 17, my mother was declining due to pharmaceutical use. So she was on polypharmacy and her health was declining. And at the same time, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. In that year, I had gained almost 100 pounds. And so with my mother's health and then my health, I watched my mother and I said, I am not going to go the pill route. I'm not going to have it a predominant part of my life. Pharmaceuticals do play a part, but not in the way that they play for everyone else. And so at 17 years old, I started studying aromatherapy. And then at 18 years old, after I graduated high school, I got a job at a fitness center and I started to lose all of the weight that I had gained the previous year. And I started to really understand the role of physical fitness in the body. And then over that 4-year period of time where it took me to lose all of the weight, I was learning more about nutrition science, food science, exercise science, all of those different things just from the exposure that I had had and the studying that I was doing. So everything was pretty good for about 9 years. And then whenever I turned 27, I was again met with health challenges. Now, this entire time, I've been doing everything that the doctors were telling me to do, the nutritionists, counselors, anyone, Weight Watchers, you name it, Slim Fast, everyone. And my health was only declining. So I was diagnosed with prediabetes, high cholesterol, and severe vitamin D deficiency. And my primary care doctor at the time, she was urging me to, take your vitamin D supplement, but let's work on the prediabetes and the high cholesterol with diet and exercise. So she prescribed some supplements. I started taking fish oil. And I then also started working on, of course, my diet and exercising, but in a different way than I was before. And within about 6 months, I started to see some health improvements with myself. And so, of course, I was continuing. But I had another health event happen whenever I was 28. I was pregnant with my daughter. And so one of the things that really gave me pause was if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm listening to all of the experts, then my health should be improving, not declining. And so with being pregnant, I didn't want my daughter to have to bear the same kind of burdens that I had in my life. And so, looking at, does nutrition start when you're born or does nutrition start before with what the mother is eating? And so I started studying perinatal nutrition, making sure that my baby was very healthy in utero and that my daughter would be on track to have success, as a child and then as an adult. And so again, pharmaceuticals really took a back seat to diet and exercise and other types of plant medicine that I could utilize at that time. I even declined the epidural. So with both of my children, I had them with a natural birth. And that came with having faith in my body and learning my body and understanding that my body could do things if I did my part, which was the education and the training and the guidance that I was finding through various sources. And so again, I was pregnant with my son at 30. So I was then able to take everything that I had learned from my daughter in that very successful pregnancy and also do it with my son. And at 32, I divorced. But when I divorced, I had 2 kids. I gained almost all the weight back. I just finished with my graduate degree. So, there was a lot of stress that was happening at that time. And so I needed something new. I needed a new focus. So that's whenever I started adding Chinese herbal therapeutics. And one thing that is a stark difference between Eastern and Western medicine is that Eastern medicine is focused on prevention instead of the treatment. So preventing the disease even before it starts. And so I started to study food science with the Chinese herbs and the Chinese food, real Chinese food, not what we get, at Panda Express or what have you. And then looking at how does food transform us at a cellular level? That's where I really found the healing. So how do we transform our bodies at a cellular level to promote health? So then again, I'm marching along, with this newfound knowledge, integrating it as I was going along. And then at 35, my tendonitis in my right arm was really getting out of control. I was having a lot of pain. So I go to my primary care, and she was suggesting that I do a CBD topical. Well, because I was teaching at the time, I didn't know how that was going to go. There was stigma. I didn't really fully understand what CBD was. There was no education. You all have heard the story before. And so I learned about it, but it really wasn't until I was 36, whenever I finally was, my pain level was a 10 every day by the end of the day. And so I finally was just like, okay, I have to do this. I have to learn about this. So I started to learn about it a little bit, but not too much. But it was really 2020 whenever my health and wellness journey took a completely different turn, to where now I'm full on emerged in understanding cannabinoid and plant therapies in conjunctive treatment alongside or in replacement of pharmaceuticals. And so it was for the first time last year that I lowered my dose of my thyroid medication. So after 20 years of trying different things, that's what got it to be lower, was the exercise, the diet, and including in a cannabinoid regimen. And so then now at 38, I have, my studies have only intensified, of course, because as the person who brings you the programs, I have to know, and I have to know this information in order to bring it to you. But that's where my studies really have intensified, but especially that I started perimenopause at 38. So, so in April, I started perimenopause. I didn't know what was happening to me, but I reached out to all of the amazing nurses and herbalists in my life. And I began a new regimen, a new diet, a new exercise regimen that completely different, right? I have a new body now. And so what I've been able to do is mitigate the migraines, reduce the cramping, resolve the intense bleeding, the energy lulls, the mood, the hormone swings. I've learned how to lower cortisol, flush as excess estrogen out of my system, and then understand the vital role that potassium and magnesium play. And, with all the herbs and supplements that I have, and, I know that over time this will change. Over the last 4 months, I've had great success, but if I keep going, then I'll continue to have even more success, right? And so as you can see, whenever it comes to health, there is no quick fix. There's no, 10-day diet, revolutionize your body. Health takes time and an extreme amount of dedication. So whenever you start something new, you have to give it at least 6 months to a year before you really start to see transformation in your health. And so now I'm very, very excited that I get to share my experience with you, everything that I've learned. The most rewarding part is coming to see myself as a whole person. So understanding that there's all of these intricate systems that are playing a role in our body, but also how to better nourish my spiritual side and my emotional side, because often those things go ignored. And so now I'm really poised to realize my full potential, because I have my physical body, I have my energy body, and I have my spiritual body that are coming closer to alignment than they ever have been before. And I'm really empowered through plants, exercise, meditation, and most importantly, I find great joy in life because I'm doing the things that I love to do, which is educating. So part of my life's purpose is to assist others in realizing their full potential in whatever capacity that may be. And I'm very honored to be able to support everyone in their journey. Thanks so much for watching. Hi. If you like the content that I create, please do make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And check out my website, naturallyinspiredmedia.com, and some of the other videos that I have produced here.